It's too late.
He sold his soul, man.
I don't know. I will never understand why somebody's going to be that rich and that famous and you don't get a prenup. That's like Kevin. He's young and he's.
It's not being a partier and she likes to party and you not wanting to stop your girl's life. But the fact that you drove her to the party and waited outside the party and drove her home just screams insecurity.
It's too late.
He sold his soul, man.
I don't know. I will never understand why somebody's going to be that rich and that famous and you don't get a prenup. That's like Kevin. He's young and he's.
They'll try to hit you with why I get a prenup if you really love me. If you really love me, sign the prenup. What you here for? If you here for love.
Man, imagine this. You just graduated college at 22, and right away you land a deal that looks like it'll carry you for life. Soon as a pen hits a paper, boom, $30 million drops straight into your account as a signing bonus, and $46 million guaranteed on top of it. Most people would call that a dream come true. But here's the crazy twist. Travis Hunter might be setting himself up for one of the biggest slip-ups in recent sports history, even with all that money. Word on the street is his wife Lina out here demanding $40 million in their divorce. Yeah, let that settle in. She basically trying to walk away with nearly his whole rookie bag, leaving him barely enough to clear his taxes and agent fees. That's not just risky, that is straight-up blueprint for going broke. And trust, this didn't sneak up on him by accident. Nah, the warning sign's been flashing bright for a long time. Old heads called it out, comedians dropped jokes that were really advice, and the internet watched the train wreck in slow motion. Dude had time to hit the brakes, but instead press hard on the gas. This ain't just a money and love story. It's a masterclass in how blessings can flip into curses when you ignore the signs. And here's the kicker. When it came time to choose their wedding spot, guess who had the final call? Yep, Lina. But she didn't pick Florida where they made memories, or Georgia where Travis became a star in college, or even any place tied to their love story. Nah, she locked her eyes on Chattanooga, Tennessee, like it was part of some plan. Her reason? She told everyone it was a gorgeous mountains and dreamy vibes. Sounds cute, right? But here's what most folks miss. Beneath all that pretty scenery was a legal trap waiting to snap shut. See, Tennessee got some of the most relaxed divorce laws in the country. Unlike other states, they don't care how long you've been married before alimony kicks in. If you can prove you relied on your spouse, you could file the day after your honeymoon and still cash in on support checks. No waiting years, no time requirements. Just show you a dependent, and boom, the money starts flowing. Lawyers been warning athletes about this loophole for years, because Tennessee has quietly become the hotspot for what attorneys call strategic marriages. Some even call it the Las Vegas of divorce settlements. Quick, easy, and profitable if you play it right. It's turned into a hunting ground for women looking to marry rich, cash out, and bounce. Now here's where it really gets chilling. Word is, multiple lawyers actually offered to draft a prenup for Travis for free. Free. Old heads begged him to protect his money, but caught up in the wedding hype and Love Days vibes, he never put it in place. No prenup. Perfect timing. And Tennessee's legal loopholes? That ain't romance. That's starting to look like a calculated business move. Because the truth is, the most expensive plays always happen where the law is stacked heavy on one side. Yeah, the view was pretty, but the law behind it was straight up dangerous. Looking back, those red flags weren't just hints. There were sirens screaming in his face. And if that wasn't enough, check this out. Right before they tied the knot, Lina admitted in a public interview, "He's not even my type." She laughed it off, saying she usually goes for a completely different kind of man, brushing off how Travis chased her early on. Might sound harmless at first, but putting down your partner in public like that, that's not just about attraction. That's a clear sign of what's really motivating the relationship. Plenty of folks sitting on the sidelines started clocking the same thing real early. Travis pouring out long, heartfelt captions, celebrating milestones, speaking dreams about their future. Meanwhile, Lina dropping back replies that felt short, sarcastic, or straight-up dismissive. People peeped that mismatch instantly, and whispers started spreading about whether this was true love or just a fast ride off fame and money. And
Dollar sign tattooed on your ring finger. You never, ever, ever trust got a dollar sign tattooed on her.
It wasn't only gossip pages stirring the pot. Friends, Insiders, even casual fans could see the cracks forming right in front of them. Thing is, there's a pattern when it comes to high-profile athletes. If your partner's words in public lean more toward flexing the lifestyle than showing love for you, it's a major red flag. But what made this situation wild was the fact that none of the signs were hidden. Everything was playing out in the open like a movie everybody saw coming. And then came the moment that sealed the doubts for so many people, the night of the infamous Heisman Trophy ceremony. That should have been the absolute peak of his young career. Travis standing on the stage with legends nodding in respect, fans screaming his name, living the dream every athlete works their whole life for. But instead of soaking up the light, there was this heavy little cloud drifting right over his shine. A shadow that made the cheers sound a little duller, and the cameras flashed just a little colder. It wasn't just about the trophy. It was about who stood next to him.
Will stand up, especially your family, especially your fiance. They give you a standing ovation, hug ya, celebrate ya. Liana didn't get that memo.
And how she carried the spotlight. When Travis hit that stage at the ceremony, the focus wasn't just on his stats or his speech. All eyes slid straight over to Lionel's energy, and it wasn't looking good. Thousands of social media detectives and body language watchers clocked it instantly. Instead of standing proud next to her man, she was glued to her phone, barely flashing a smile. Even in moments where any other partner would be soaking up the spotlight, she looked checked out like none of it mattered. Word is, she even brushed off Deion Sanders when he tried to get her to step up and stand with Travis, choosing the sidelines instead. The crowd noticed. The cameras noticed. And by the end of the night, the clips had gone viral everywhere. Suddenly, the internet's top debate was simple. Was she really here for Travis or just here for the shine? Remember, this is a man swimming in nil money, with every camera locked on him as a Heisman candidate. Yet right there in public, she had no problem embarrassing him in front of millions. And the thing is, this wasn't a 1-0 slip. Lionel's same cold vibe showed up again at other major moments, like the Adidas launch where Travis was supposed to shine as a star. While other couples looked in sync, hyped for each other, Lionel kept her distance, barely speaking to Travis, chatting more with staff than with sponsors or athletes. What should have been career highlights ended up clouded by a detached energy, fueling viral memes and endless threads dissecting her every move. But here's the part most people missed. Red flags don't start in bank statements or court filings. They start in the small, everyday things. How two people treat each other when nobody's watching. And with these two, the contrast couldn't be louder. Travis is known for keeping disciplined, staying away from alcohol, training nonstop, and living low-key despite all the fame coming his way. Lionel, whole different story. Her social stayed packed with club glam shots, cocktail selfies, and late-night party stories that insiders were already tracking. None of that's illegal, but in the context of their situation, the picture painted itself. And then came the stories that really had fans side-eyeing. It wasn't just that she partied, it was that Travis was the one chauffeuring her. Word is he'd drop her at clubs, wait outside for hours, and scoop her up at 2 or 3 a.m. while she lived it up inside. Even teammates mentioned it. For a pro athlete with such a small window to stay at peak performance, giving up sleep to play driver night after night sent the wrong message to fans, to coaches, and to anyone watching. It screamed insecurity. And here's the kicker. Why do we even know this? Because the internet went digging, and what they found flipped everything upside down. Lionel was spotted with a $ tattooed on her ring finger. And let's be real, you never, ever trust a $ on the ring finger. That wasn't just a style choice, it was a statement. And suddenly, people realized this wasn't about her partying, it was about the imbalance. Most power couples push each other toward greatness. But hey, the pattern was undeniable. Travis kept rearranging his life to cater to Lionel, while she stayed locked into her own social calendar. And for a man with the world watching, that imbalance told a story louder than any headline. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss what's coming next.